Okay, good morning, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience. In today's class, we will discuss about transmission lines parameters. Okay, transmission line 2. Okay, see here, see this problem. Find the input impedance of the lossless transmission line holds inductance 2 microhenries, capacitance 80 picofarads. The length of the transmission line is 0.1 meter from the load impedance. Okay, and the load is 100 ohms resistor. Okay, here 100 ohms resistor in series with zero point 0.1 millihenry inductor at a frequency of 500 megahertz. See here, what we are observed from that problem statement, find the input impedance of the lossless transmission line. And ultimately you have to find input impedance of the transmission line, but the transmission line is lossless, right? And when the line is said to be lossless, when the transmission line is said to be lossless, when there is no R and G components, when R and G components, then it is same like a lossless, right? That's why here they not mentioned R and G components, only mention L and C components, right? So here just accumulate all the okay, parameters. What you have to find? Input impedance. What they given here, L equal to 2 microhenries, C equal to 80 picofarads. Distance, the length of the transmission line is L 0.1 meter. Load impedance is just 100 ohms. Okay. Series inductance and how much the load affects. Okay, that is the 0.1 millihenry and frequency 500 megahertz. Okay, and 500 into 10 power 6, right? From that, what we are able to find, okay, load impedance. See here, this is the load impedance. ZR is the load impedance, okay, or ZL. Okay, let us assume ZR equal to RL plus J omega L, right? Okay, from this RL, how much? 100 ohms. Here, low, not a load resistance. Okay, they mentioned about load impedance. They mentioned about load impedance, right? So that's why RL equal to 100 ohms. Okay, RL equal to 100 ohms in series with some inductance, right? That's why 0.1 millihenry into J omega L, right? Omega is a 500 megahertz. That's why J omega is equal to 25 into F. F is the 500 megahertz. Okay, 500 into 10 power 6 into how much inductance is 0.1 into 0.1 millihenry. Okay, here they not mentioned properly. It is 0.1 millihenry. Okay, 0.1 millihenry means this is 10 power minus 3. Okay, observe printing mistakes. Okay, RL plus J omega L. From that, we directly find load impedance. Here, not mentioned directly with that polar form. Okay, they split the resistance and inductance part of that load resistance or load impedance as R plus J omega L. From that, we found load resistance here or load impedance here. 100 plus simplification of this term is J314.15. Okay, this is called a polar form and this is the rectangular form. Okay, directly that conversion is available in your uh, calculator, scientific calculator. Okay, or simply square root of a square plus b square at an angle of tan inverse b by a. Then only from the directly you are able to find that expression. Okay, we know that characteristic impedance of the lossless line is how much z not equal to square root of. Actually, that expression is r plus j omega l, right? J omega l by g plus j omega c. Okay, of course square root of. Okay, but R and G components are not available here because of this is the lossless, right? That's why this is 0, this is 0. J omega cancel, root over L by C, right? Z not equal to root over L by C, square root of L, how much? 2 microhenries, 2 into 10 power, 2 into 10 power minus 6, okay, divided by C, how much? 80 picofarad, 80 into 10 power minus 12. Okay, everything is wrong here. Okay, L equal to 2 microhenries, 2 into 10 power minus 6 henries divided by square root of 80 into pico. Pico means 10 power minus 12. Nano is 10 power minus 9. Okay, this is 10 power minus 12. Okay, on simplifying this expression, we get here this much of resistance occurred. Of course, that number may be wrong, but the procedure is same. Okay, from that Z naught is calculated, characteristic impedance. Okay, now but what I want exactly here, input impedance of a transmission line. That's why already you know the expression for input impedance from the earlier class. Zl equal to Z naught into ZL plus Z naught tan beta L by Z naught plus ZL tan beta L. Right? Okay. Please see that video. Okay. Earlier I derived the expression for input impedance of different formats. So Z naught, how much the Z naught is? 5 ohms into ZL. How much the ZL? 100 plus J13 J into 314.5. Okay, plus J into Z naught tan beta L. You just have to substitute the terms here. Okay, how much the beta value? How much the beta here? Beta equal to omega root LC, right? Or simply, okay, what is the alternate form? What is the alternate form? Beta equal to omega root LC. Okay, okay. This is also derived from gamma equal to alpha plus j beta, right? Gamma equal to alpha plus j beta equal to square root of r plus j omega L, r plus this term, r plus j omega L into g plus j omega C. While multiply and simplify and equate real and imaginary terms, on equating that imaginary terms, we get beta equal to omega root LC. Why? Because there is no r and z components. Okay, from that beta equal to omega root LC, just substitute, okay, just substitute uh, omega 25 into 500, okay, 500 megahertz into root over L value and C value. Okay, again this is C value is 10 power minus 12. Okay, this is minus 12. Okay, minus 12. Okay, just substitute those values and simplify. So on simplification, we get Zn equal to 0.02 plus J into 4, okay, 3.48 ohms. Okay, this is the input impedance it offers. Okay, this is a very important problem. Okay, this is already given in final examination earlier. Okay, get it? Just a second. Okay. Are you clear? Are you clear about this problem? Or otherwise, if you have any doubts, just ping me. Okay. Okay, that is the first problem. See here, the second problem. A lossless line of 300 ohms impedance. Okay, of course, this is also previously covered problem. I mean, previously given in the examination. Okay, the lossless line of 300 ohms impedance is terminated with a load impedance of 100 plus J650 ohms, right? The frequency of operation is 60 megahertz. The frequency of operation is 60 megahertz. Then find the length and location of the single stub needed for impedance match. Okay, this is the okay, quite different problem. Okay, what actually first interpret the problem statement. Which type of transmission line it is? Lossless. Okay, that's why R and G components are zero. Okay, R and G components are zero, right? Load impedance is how much? 100 plus J650 ohms. 100 plus J650 ohms. Okay, 100. I mean ZR or ZL is 100 plus J650. Uh, Frequency of operation is 60 megahertz, and 60 megahertz frequency. The signal is passing through the transmission line, the lossless transmission line. Then what actually they want? Find the length of the location of a single stub needed for impedance match. Okay, and if we want to locate the single stub for impedance matching, where exactly it have? Okay, it would be located. Okay, that is the problem statement. See here, first consolidate okay, all the given information. Okay, what is the frequency of operation? F equal to 60 megahertz. Load impedance is 100 plus J650, and characteristic impedance of that line is 300 ohms. Okay, lossless line of 300 ohms impedance is terminated. Okay, 300 ohms impedance is terminated with a load impedance of. What it means that 300 ohms line impedance is the characteristic impedance of the line. So Z not equal to 300 ohms. From that, what we are able to find? What we are able to find? What is the wavelength of the transmission line, or otherwise just leave it. Okay, don't go through this, just leave this term. Okay, for you actually they wanna go from that already you know ZL and Z naught. Okay, now you know ZL and Z naught. From these two parameters, what parameters we are able to find? Reflection coefficient, right? Reflection coefficient K equal to ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught. Okay, ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught, of course both are same. ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught, ZL minus Z naught. Okay, 100 is J650 minus 300 by 100 plus J650 plus 300. Okay, on simplification we get this term minus 200 plus J650 by 400 plus J650, converted into rectangular form. Okay, తెలుసు ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలో. Square root of a square plus b square, 200 square plus 650 square whole root, tan inverse b by a 650 by 200. Okay, we get this term. Okay, that is the fundamental expression. Here also the same. Okay, on simplification. Okay, 680 by 763 0.89, 107.1 minus 58, we get 48.7 on subtraction. Okay, ఈ angles and subtract అవుతాయి, ఇది మాత్రం division అవుతుంది. Okay, from that we get reflection coefficient term. Okay, what is the length of this term? Okay, this is the expression. Okay, already you see. Okay, not derived, we not derived this expression, but already you see. Okay, length of the first stub. Okay, L1 equal to lambda by 2 pi tan inverse B by A. Okay. Mother? Length of the stub L1 equal to lambda by 2 pi tan inverse square root of 1 minus mod K whole square by 2 of mod K. Okay, lambda value. Okay, for that purpose, here lambda is calculated. What do you mean by lambda? Wavelength. Length equal to distance by, sorry, velocity by time, right? So velocity is how much? 3 into 10 power 8 by time is nothing but okay, time is nothing but 1 by f, right? Okay, that's why here directly frequency is mentioned. Okay, or simplifying, we get the length of the signal is 5 meters. That's why we have to substitute lambda value 5 to 5 tan inverse square root of how much we get 0.89 whole square by 2 into 0.89, and the length of the first stub is at look at the length of 0.2 meters. Okay, length of the stub, this is only the length of the stub. Okay, and then for suppose this is the piece of transmission line, this is the piece of transmission line. Okay, I want to terminate I want to terminate this transmission line, okay, for impedance matching. Okay, but how much length of the transmission line I have to take? Okay, actually this is the length of the transmission line. Okay, this is the, of course this is the length of the transmission line, this is the length of the transmission line I have to take, but how much length of the transmission line I have to take? This is the expression. Okay, and this much length of the transmission line we must be considered here to terminate the transmission line in order to get, okay, appropriate impedance matching. Okay, so far we calculated how much length of the stub is required. Next, where exactly located in this transmission line? Where exactly, where exactly the stub is located in this transmission line? For that purpose, okay, the stub of the, I mean the location of the stub from that load. Okay, actually that is always, okay, calculated from load part to load, towards load to source. Okay, load to source. Okay, load to source direction, location of the stub from the load. Okay, so stub location equal to 5 plus 5 minus cos inverse k by 2 beta. Okay, remember this point 5 because we, okay, so far it doesn't derive this expression. Okay, this is already but this is not derived. Okay, 5 plus, okay, 5 plus uh, small phi, this is the capital phi, this is the small phi, minus cos inverse k by 2 beta. Okay, phi value, how much it is? Okay, in the reflection coefficient, how much the angle we get? That is the phi, capital phi, 48.7 degrees, plus this phi is always 180 degrees, right? This is 180 degrees constant, minus cos inverse reflection coefficient is how much? 0.89 by 2 beta. Okay, 2 beta, 2 into that beta value substituted here. Okay, uh, 2 beta, and the beta is nothing but 2 pi by lambda, right? So 2 pi by lambda, by substituting this 2 pi by lambda here, that is 4 pi into lambda, right? Directly you have to substitute all the terms. See here, on substituting we get the length of the stub is 1.4 meters, and from that load, okay, what it means, this is the transmission line and this is the load resistance or load impedance. Okay, from the load, where exactly the stub is located? At the distance of 1.4 meters distance, at the distance of 1.4 meters we actually located the stub, and that length of the stub is how much? 0.2 meters. Get it? Okay, remember these two expressions. See here, the next problem is, Okay, next problem is the line characteristic impedance is 300 ohms. The line characteristic impedance is 300 ohms is terminated with a load of 175 plus J of 207 ohms. An electrical signal of 200 megahertz is transmitted along the line in free space. Determine the following using Smith chart. Okay, this is the four most important problem. Okay, what they given here? Characteristic impedance of 300 ohms. Load impedance is 175 plus J207 ohms. The electrical signal of the frequency is 200 megahertz. The input signal frequency. Okay. Next, determine the following using Smith chart. What they want? Voltage standing wave ratio. The voltage standing wave ratio. VSWR. Okay. Uh, and next, load admittance. Okay. Actually, you have to find the load impedance, and inverse of the load impedance is the load admittance. Next, distance between the load and the first voltage minimum along the transmission line. Distance between the load and first voltage minimum. Voltage minimum. Okay, they asking for voltage minimum along the transmission line. Okay, see here. Regarding to the Smith chart, what are the crucial steps? What we have to find first? Okay, first we have to find that normalized impedance, right? Okay, see here. Okay, how they deal with this. Okay, characteristic impedance, according to problem statement, that is 300 ohms. Load impedance is 175 plus J207 ohms, and operating frequency is 200 megahertz. Omega, that is F value, not omega value. So in order to find that omega value, omega equal to 2 pi F, right? 2 pi into F. Next signal wavelength is lambda equal to c by F, of course. Okay, that is 1.5 meters. The steps for using the Smith chart. Okay, all of you please go through this. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, what actually the Smith chart contains? R circles and X circles, right? R circles and X circles. Okay, remember that point. R circles and X circles. See here, first from the problem statement, they consolidate what are the parameters mentioned in that is are the characteristic impedance, load impedance, operating frequency, operating wavelength. Okay. Steps for using the Smith chart is the normalized impedance. First, you have to find that normalized impedance. Okay, normalized impedance means load impedance by what the characteristic impedance they mentioned. Characteristic impedance is 300 and load impedance is 175 plus J207 volts. From that, calculate the normalized impedance. Normalized impedance means already know load impedance by characteristic impedance. Okay, 175 plus J207 by 300. Okay, remember this value is always lies in the range of 0 to 1. Okay, this value is always in the order of 0 to 1. Okay, the normalized value is always lies 0 to 1. See here, the point P is located on Smith chart as shown in figure at the intersection of the circles R equal to 0.58 and X equal to 0.69. Okay, just have to mention okay the intersection point. See here, R circles and X circles, right? R circles and X circles. Okay, actually this is the polar plot or Smith chart. Okay, here I am drawing R circles and X circles. Okay, R circles and X circles. The intersection point is okay. This is the intersection point, right? Okay, of course this is the intersection point, and this is also the intersection point. Okay, you see here point P is located. Okay, just the point P is located on the Smith chart as shown in figure at the intersection of the circles R equal to 0.58, X equal to 0.69. Okay, these are the values of, okay, see here. Simply, the value, this is not clear. And this is the point which corresponds to 0.69 and 0.58. 0.69 and 0.58. Okay. See here, this is the point corresponds to 0.69 and both the intersection point. Okay, intersection region of R circles and X circles. Okay, this is the point where reactance and resistance is intersected each other. Okay, point P. Taking the center as a point O. Okay, taking the center as a point O and the radius. Obviously, the radius of that circle is OP. Okay, just a second. Okay, this is the intersection point or 0.58 and resistance 0.58 and reactance 0.69 intersection point that is mentioned with P. Next, the origin point, identified that origin point as a O, and this is the radius. Sorry, this is the radius. Okay. Okay. Taking the center as a point O and then radius as OP. Okay. The impedance circle is drawn. The distance between the center and point M, where the impedance circle crosses the horizontal axis on the right side of the chart. Okay. See here, this is the distance between the center and just a bit. Okay. Between the center and the point M on the horizontal axis on the right side of the chart. Okay, this gives us always the voltage standing wave ratio. Okay, this is always the voltage standing wave ratio. Okay, everything is lies in the impedance and resistance and reactance terms, right? Okay, and third point, the point Q. Okay, actually, of course, the radius of that circle, the point Q opposite to the normalized impedance point on the impedance circle, and of course, this is the impedance circle. And is admittance of that load, and opposite side means actually this is the impedance. This is the impedance. Okay, opposite side it means 1 by R. Okay, is taken as a admittance, right? Okay, the normalized admittance of at a point Q is uh, simply YL equal to, okay, how much value this is. Okay, 0.72 minus J 0.85. Okay, and it actually while you clearly observe that Smith chart, okay, those values are lied here. Okay, the values are lied here. Okay, or simply we draw the line, along this definitely get that value. Okay, from that, and when we check left side, okay, then it gives us admittance. Okay, from the right side it gives us impedance. Okay, the first voltage minimum and minimum from the load lies along the horizontal axis of the left side of the end of the chart at the point A. Line OP extends at the outer point of P dash, represents the load point. The position P dash. Of course, it is very difficult to observe from this waveform. See here. Actually, this is not clear. Okay. See here. This is the point P. This is point Q dash, M dash. Okay. Y minimum and Y maximum. Actually, this scale is very important. Okay, in the view of Smith charts. Uh, okay, I will share the video for the measurement of all these. Okay, why? Because it is very difficult to understand in this chart. Okay, here that is not clear. Okay, these are not clear. Okay, I will share the video. Okay, with respect to Smith chart associated problems. Okay, here also this is not clear. This is not clear. Okay, I will share the video. Okay, please go through that video. Then you are able to understand. Okay, of course, in the final examination, they are not given. Okay, why? Because okay, if the state the problem in the question paper, okay, they need to provide additional Smith charts. Okay, so 99% they are not asked in your final examination. Okay, but learn, okay, how to use that Smith chart for the measurement of all these parameters. Okay, I will share the video. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, these are the associated problems in transmission lines part 2. Okay, uh, that's all about today's class. I will continue in the next class.